What is up, everyone? Welcome to our first live stream. Actually, really excited about this. Have not done a live stream before. We're going to be talking about some really cool stuff. Particularly, we're going to be looking into what's going on in the housing market. So, in case you're not aware, things are a bit crazy. I got an article here talking about home. Let's see, talking about what was it? Totally forgot. Sorry. I'm really nervous. I don't do live streams, as you guys know, but we're going to change that. Uh, Home prices or homes have been about 65% of homes have been sitting on the market, um, which is crazy. So we're going to take a look and see what's going on with that. We'll do some Q&As towards the end. So if you have any questions towards the end, I would love to answer them. But with that said, let's go ahead and dive into our article today to see if sellers still have the advantage or is it turning to more of a home buyer's market right now. So we'll take a look here and see what's going on. We have an article here from Business Insider, Jennifer Soar. Sellers are losing their grip on the housing market as home prices cool, research firm says. We're going to fact check this, by the way. By fact check it, I mean we're going to take a look at some of our own housing data to see how things are lining up. All right, so sellers are losing their advantage in the housing market. That's because the highest level of inventories are starting to weigh on home prices, research firm Capital Economics said, stating it's reverse to trend a it's starting to reverse a trend that's persistent for the past few years, with tight inventory pushing home prices to record highs. All right, so we'll see about that. Home prices notched another record in May, but the pace of growth cooled. Prices were up 5.9% on a yearly basis, down from the 6.4% record the prior month, according to the S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller Price Index. So basically what they're saying is home prices have gone up about 5.9% over the last year. However, they had another drop from the prior month by 6.4%. So I wonder if they're saying prices should have been up another 12%. It's kind of what it's sounding like, but which honestly wouldn't surprise me with the way things are going on. There's actually like a lot of demand right now because no one's selling because interest rates are so low right now. So if interest rates, or sorry, not because, sorry, let me reiterate that. Because so many people have low interest rates locked in, no one's selling. Like if you refine, like everyone and their mom literally refinanced in 2020, 2021, 2022, when we had these 2.5 interest rates, 3% interest rates, everyone was refinancing. So everyone's locked in at these really low rates. And because of that, no one is selling. So, I mean, it's kind of causing prices to skyrocket, even though interest rates right now are really high in the 7% range. Actually, they are down around 6.5%, but we'll talk about that. Okay, so moving on. This is happening as inventory rises. Active house listings rose past 800,000 in the US in June, Realtor.com data shows. Meanwhile, nearly 65% of houses on the market are going at least 30 days without being contracted, Redfin analysis found. That's huge. So if you have 65% of homes are sitting on the market at least 30 days, and what that means is these houses are sitting on the market and they're not getting an offer accepted. So they're sitting on the market for at least 30 days and they're not getting an offer accepted. Usually what I see is the vast majority of houses are getting an offer within a week. And then you have like 20% of houses that just sit on the market for months and months. That's usually what I see. If you were to do like an average days on market, at least in our area, typically we're seeing, I'd say like 1 or 2 weeks, like when the market was really, really hot. I think a more average healthy market is going to be that 30-day mark. But this is suggesting it's significantly more than that. So we'll take a look at the data here in just a second, but we'll go through this. Another moderate 0.3% month-over-month rise in the house prices in May adds to the evidence that sellers are losing their grip on the market due to increasing supply. Thomas Ryan, a North American economist at Capital Economics, said in a note. So, yeah, that's not a lot. 0.03% month-over-month rise is not a ton, but it is still an increase, maybe like $1,000. Not really that much. More inventory is good news for buyers. who have been limited by fewer options, inadequate housing supply. Yeah, I mean, more options are good. Like you want more inventory, right? We don't want too much because if you have too much inventory, that's when the housing market crashes. And I know buyers think they want the housing market to crash, which is great, but I mean, you don't know when the bottom's going to be, right? Like you could buy if you buy while the housing market's crashing, prices are just going to go lower. You know, everyone wants the market to go up, even buyers, right? Like because as soon as you buy, you want the housing market to go up. You just want it to go down when you don't own a home. Home prices are already starting to fall in key metros such as the Sun Belt, where housing demand is especially weak. Redfin said in a previous note. Yeah, that might be true in the Sun Belt. I don't know if that's going to be true here, but we'll take a look. But capital, capital. I don't know why that's so hard. Maybe because I'm homeschooled. But capital. Oh my gosh! But Capital Economics predicted home prices would continue climbing, forecasting another 5% increase through the year, and as a decline in mortgage rates boosts demand. Yeah. So as I think that's true. I think on average, historically, we usually see like a 3 to 4% price increase over the coming years. In at least in the Washington area, like the Northwest Washington area, I usually think we see like 5 to 10%. So I definitely know like in Bellingham, it's at least 10 to 12, 15% a year over year increase in value pretty regularly. We have a very hot market too. At least it has been very hot for the last 10 years. I think that's going to continue just because there is so much demand in this area. But I think 5% is a bit high on a national level. However, with inflation, things have been kind of crazy. So who really knows? It's kind of hard to say. I think this is probably a fair analysis. I think it might be a little bit higher, especially in areas and like the Whatcom County, Skagit area, Northwest Washington area. I think it will probably be closer to 10%. But we'll take a look at some data here in a second to review that. It will take until 2025 or even 2026 for the market to become more balanced. I don't know if it's going to be more balanced in the next year or two. Honestly, I think prices are going to go up even more. I think housing is going to be more expensive in the next year or two. I would be very skeptical to say it's going to be balanced or not. And the big reason for that is housing is becoming more and more expensive every day. With rates being really high, like they're in the 7%. Actually, I think they're like 6.5%. Let's take a look. Today's mortgage interest rates. So let's take a look at that real quick. 6.87%. Okay, so they're up again. Okay. That's a little bit high. I thought they were a little bit lower, but okay. So yeah, they're down a little bit. They're still really, really high. When rates come down, there's a lot of rumors right now that the Federal Reserve is going to be dropping rates here in September by 0.25% or something like that, or a couple basis points. I think it's very, very likely that if that were to happen, because there's so much pent up buyer demand, it's actually just going to increase the price of everything because everything is based off of what can people afford with a monthly payment. I know we want to get the lowest price possible when buying a house, but really what matters at the end of the day is what is your monthly payment going to be, right? Unless you're paying cash and buying the whole thing outright, which you're probably not. Assuming you're financing it, only thing that matters is that monthly price, which is really, really important. So I think things are just going to be more expensive in the years to come, but that's just me. Let's go ahead and take a look though at InfoSpark. So this is the actual data that we have on the housing market, at least for the Whatcom County, Washington state area. So we're just going to look at the entire MLS. So this is going to be all of Northwest Washington, just to kind of see what's been going on. We'll just take a look at the median price. And this is the last 3 years. So you see things kind of peaked in May of 2022. They did drop quite a bit, actually. Holy cow. That's quite a big drop in sales price. And this is for the entire Northwest MLS, which covers basically Seattle, Bellingham, like the entire Northwest, a big chunk of Washington, basically, is what this is covering. So that's quite the big swing we see right there. But as you can see, of May of this year, basically, home prices are almost the same. So about $10,000 less on average. Now, if I were just to pull up something a little bit more local, let's just say Bellingham. We're going to see some very similar results. Actually, looks a little bit more volatile. Looks like Bellingham hit a low in February, which is quite interesting. But then it bounced right back up. So again, we're still pretty high. Actually, Bellingham's doing a lot better than the entire Northwest MLS, which is kind of interesting. So, yeah, I mean, looks like houses are still selling for top dollar here. So, but let's look at days on market because this article was talking about houses just sitting on the market for more than 65 days. Holy moly. Okay. So let's reduce this to 1 year. So this most recent year is what we'll look at. This is quite volatile. Like, holy cow. This gray line is the entire Northwest MLS. So basically the majority of Washington. This green line is Bellingham. And we'll throw in another market area just for funsies here too. We'll just do Whatcom County. Just for anyone that lives in our area. See, it's a little bit more. Oh wow. Wow. That is not what I was expecting. Actually, I'm not too surprised. Things do kind of slow down in the winter time. So it is normal to see stuff sitting on the market. We are seeing for December, if you look at it, 24 days, average days on market. Bellingham is 39. So that's actually the worst. Whatcom County is 33 days, average days on market for most listings. And then it looks like it kind of peaks in February for Whatcom County. Again, we usually expect things to be pretty slow in the December, January, February time of things, which we can see that was the same the previous year in 2023. But then you see the summertime, things just pick up. So we're seeing entire MLS houses are selling in 7 days in April. Bellingham, 7 days. Whatcom County, 11 days. Same thing for May, basically the same in May. A little bit less in June. So 9 days for the entire MLS, 7 days for Bellingham, and then 9 days for Whatcom County. And then July, it's honestly the same. So again, we're not seeing that 65% of homes sitting in the market for more than 30 days, like that article was suggesting. So it's actually going to be a lot shorter, which is quite interesting. So we got 11 days for the entire MLS. We got 9 days for Bellingham, and then we got 15 days for Whatcom County. That is not a lot. That means the vast majority of houses are selling in less than 2 weeks, like at least in the Northwest Washington area, which is kind of crazy. So, really, really interesting there, actually. Let's take a look. Homes for sale. Well, it's going to be very different for the entire MLS because there's more houses for sale in the MLS. Let's just do Bellingham. Okay. Yeah. That's what I thought. Pendings. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So right now the market's still hot. I mean, that that article we were looking at, it might not be true for all the markets around here, but at least for the Whatcom County, Washington State market, I mean, houses are still selling really fast. It is kind of hard to gauge because real estate data is lagging data, so it's always like a month behind. But just looking at things right now, it seems to be really, really hot still. So I I I don't think the market's going to be slowing down. I think just because some houses are sitting on the market longer right now doesn't mean all houses will. Let's go ahead and take a look though, just to see what the housing market is doing right now. I'm just kind of curious. I just want to like take a look and see. So just looking at the last 7 days, and this is for the north for like Whatcom County. So just kind of to look at things more locally. It looks like we have 89 new listings in the last week. So again, this is the last 7 days, and this is just single family homes, by the way. We could do any type of property we want, but we're just doing single family homes. Back on market. So most houses are not coming back on market. We see quite a few price reductions actually, which is probably normal. I think a lot of people do need to drop their price. I think a lot of sellers are getting greedy and they're listing way, way, way too high. That doesn't mean prices are coming down. It just means people listed their price too high. So that's important to take note of. Pendings, that's a lot of pendings. Look, we had more pendings actually than new listings on the market, which is a pretty typical trend. And here's something I want to do right now to get a really active look. We were just looking at InfoSpark, by the way. The problem with InfoSpark is it's all lagging data. This is going to be the most accurate, up-to-date data right here. So what we're going to do, though, is we're going to pull up, let's see. We're going to pull up Whatcom County here. We're going to take a look at the market. And oh, wow, that actually surprised me. I don't know if you can see that. 837 matches. That means there's 837 listings on the market. I've actually never seen that many listings in the Whatcom County housing market. Probably ever. I don't want to say it for sure. I've been selling real estate for about 8 years. I don't think I've ever seen more than like 750 houses for sale. So the fact that there's that many houses for sale right now is it's a lot. That means the market is definitely cooling down. I don't think it's crashing. I don't think prices are coming down yet, but that does mean there are quite a few houses for sale right now, which is incredible. To give you context, when prices were dropping here, like during the 2008 crash, like 2010, 2011, when prices were still down, we probably had about 2,000 houses for sale at any given time. So the fact that we got 837 houses for sale means we got quite a long way to go before we start seeing any price drops. That's just my opinion anyway, but we'll kind of move on. So 837 homes for sale, quite interesting. If we were just yeah, very interesting. Cool. Well, I want to move on to some Q&As, see if anyone has any questions. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I would love to answer them. Let's see. Perfect. Where did I pull them up? Okay, there they are. Sorry. Helen Head Arcade 6 asks, can you put offers on multiple houses? Yes, you can. You can put Can you put offers on multiple houses? Not at the same time. I mean, technically you could. It would be quite unethical. It's hard. I get it. Like we're still seeing multiple offers on some properties right now. So like, I don't know if I would put multiple offers on a single like on not a single property, but like on multiple properties. Most realtors are not going to do that. I'm probably not going to do that unless there's like a really good chance you're probably not going to get an offer accepted on a place and you want to throw an offer on another place. You can do that. It's just the second you get an offer accepted somewhere, you need to retract your other offer right away. Like you need to retract it right away because you don't want to be accidentally pending on two houses at the same time, unless you plan on buying both of them at the same time. Smiles 36 NJCP asked, I heard it's illegal for the listing agent to work for the buyer too. In some states, yeah, not in Washington State. It's not. So in Washington State, the listing agent could represent the buyer as well. Really, really dumb, by the way. I love it. So like when I sell a house and a buyer wants to work with me and not have their own buyer, when they don't want to work with another buyer, that's fine. I'm going to make more because I'm going to keep the buyer agent's commission. I'm not giving that to you at all. And I'm going to get my seller a really, really good deal. So personally, I love it when buyers come to me when I'm listing a house, but you're not going to get a better deal. If you want the best deal possible, I would definitely hire a buyer's agent. That's just my personal opinion, but you can do whatever you want. Gregory 9721 asked, how many lenders do you feel a person should contact when buying your first house or property? Same question for having someone look at the house over. You can apply with as many lenders as you want. I would probably just go with the lender the realtor recommends. If you want to do with maybe like 2 or 3, you can. For the most part, most lenders are going to have the exact same rate, and if they don't, they're always going to price match. The thing with lenders is you want to find a lender with really good customer service. I've had like you will lose a deal if you go with the wrong lender. Like if you get pre-approved with like Quicken Loans and you make an offer on a house and there's like 10 other offers, because you're pre-approved with someone like Quicken Loans, it's going to significantly hurt your chances of getting your offer accepted, even if you offer more money, because Quicken Loans, they just are really good at dropping the ball. Most realtors don't like working with them, not because there's anything wrong with like them giving you like a good deal. It's just the customer service is so bad and they're so strict when it comes to doing certain things that most realtors and most sellers just don't want anything to do with it. So I mean, I'll do 2 or 3. 2 or 3 is probably good. I would just ask some realtors that you work with. Usually they are working with someone they really trust and really like and who do a really good job. For the price, it's usually going to be the same, but I mean, you can price match if you want. The interest rate's always going to be the same, or almost always the same. It's the fees might be a little bit different, and we're talking like a couple $100 difference, but which adds up, right? But it's totally up to you. Home inspectors, I would just go with whoever your realtor recommends. Um, you're going to want to. I would not worry about price so much for a home inspector as someone who's really competent and good at their job. And your realtor should be working with someone that they've done multiple home inspections with, so they can usually get a good idea on who's good and who's not good. I've worked with probably 20 different home inspectors, and there's only two that I recommend to anyone because they're so good at their job. So that's just my opinion. And like, I'll pay them a premium. Actually, one of them's pretty fairly priced. He's probably one of the cheapest guys out there, and he does the best job. But yeah, you're going to want someone who's really thorough with the house. You don't necessarily want to go with the cheapest guy out there because they're going to miss stuff, right? And if they miss something, that could be thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands of dollars in repairs that you missed out on because you hired the cheap home inspector. Mawa asked, is selling, buying 50 houses a year a good indication of a good agent? If like a realtor sells 50 plus houses a year, that's a lot. So I would say the vast majority of realtors don't do that. There's probably like 3 realtors in every county that are doing that. That is a ton of houses. Now, I would say, yeah, they're a good agent in the sense that they're selling a ton of houses, but are they going to be the best agent for you? Probably not, because you're probably just a number to them. So they're just going to be selling as many houses as they can to try and, they're not going to give you the attention you deserve or need, or that you're paying for to get your house sold or purchased for top dollar. For them, it's usually just a numbers game. I mean, I don't hate them. Like, good for them. They're selling a ton of houses, right? Like, I wish I sold 50 houses a year. I sell about 20 houses a year. The average agent sells about 5 houses a year. So take that for a grain of salt. So it is what it is. I think it means they sell a lot of houses. Like, that's a ton of houses if they're selling. I would just be skeptical. Are they going to provide you the service that you are looking for? And, are they going to get your house sold for top dollar, or, are they going to be available, or they're going to be too busy? So there's some pros and cons to look at there. Not a bad option to go with, though. Cat in Buzz asked, what are your thoughts on overvalued property appraisals that are affecting houses? What are your thoughts on overvalued property appraisals? I mean, I don't think it happens that often. A house is generally worth whatever someone is willing to pay for it, times, or I don't know if it's times, but I don't know what the math is. Plus, so a house is worth whatever someone's willing to sell it for, plus whatever someone's willing to pay for it. So if I agree as a buyer that I'm willing to pay $600,000 for this house, and the seller's willing to pay to sell the house to me for $600,000, then the house is worth $600,000, right? The appraiser is just there just to make sure the bank is not getting ripped off when you're getting financing. Okay. So the appraiser's there just to protect the bank. They don't care about you. They're there to protect the bank in case you don't make your payments and they need to sell this thing. Okay. So an appraiser, what I've noticed is appraisers almost always just say, what is your offer at? Oh, it's $600,000. Then, yep, nailed it. It's $600,000. It's kind of a joke, actually, but it is what it is. It's kind of how the market works. Cool. So I think that's all of our questions. If anyone has any more questions in the next 30 seconds, I will gladly answer them. Otherwise, we'll probably get things wrapped up here today. Yeah. Ooh, real quick, if you need help buying or selling a house, I got a link down below. We can schedule a free consultation. We could talk about your home buying or selling needs. Would love to help you out. Otherwise, my name is Tommy Mutchler, your favorite realtor, and I will see you in the next one.